Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I want to discuss about something that we just can't deny. We're all getting older. And what are you going to do about it? Well, I wanted to just bring up two different studies. Well, one was a study, the other was an article about aging, not just an individual getting older, but basically populations of countries getting older. And so I think, yes, we're all getting older. We all need to find a way to cope with that, to deal with it. But the first major step in, being able to deal with this and to accept this is to acknowledge that, there is a solution, inward and outward. So let me share some information with you. Recently, there was a UC California Northridge study about ageism in America. And it basically dealt with the general attitudes that people have towards growing old and attitudes towards the elderly. And the data that this study revealed was interesting. Let me read to you what they found. One, there is a general sense of ambivalence about the elderly and about growing old. Okay. Two, we live in a country where youth is valued over old age and where old people are often mistreated and regularly stereotyped. Major social institutions are largely behind these negative attitudes towards the elderly, particularly the mass media. And then the third finding was young people appear to have more negative feelings in general, and there appears to be a greater concern among women about growing old. So, I don't think any of these 3 points are revolutionary. I think we all would agree that yes, getting old in the U.S. kind of sucks, and people don't really want to grow old. They don't value it. They don't value elderly people. They kind of just want to push them in a corner, put them in the dark, get them out of out of eyesight, get them out of view, and the mass media does support that that method because. What kind of commercials do you see all the time? Young people doing young things, supposedly. Buying products, doing vacations, being adventuresome. It's always young people. And so yes, these points aren't really that surprising. But I did want to bring them out because we need to be aware of what's out there. Also, according to Investopedia, I can't speak tonight, Investopedia, they did a piece on global economic issues of an aging population. And there were 4 key takeaways that they talked about. And of them, I'm going to go ahead and read these 4 and then discuss them a little bit more. One key takeaway was many industrialized nations are realizing the effects of an aging population, such as a decline in the working age population and a surge in healthcare costs. Isn't that the truth? Another key takeaway, over 20% of the population of 17 countries consists of persons 65 years or older. Wow. That's 1/5 of all the people in each of those 17 countries over 65 years of age. The next key takeaway, the decline in the working age population results in a supply shortage of qualified workers. And we've been hearing about that for the past few years here in the U.S. The pool of workers that are contributing and paying into, like, for example, Social Security is smaller than it used to be, yet the recipients of Social Security is greater than it's ever been because more and more people are turning 65 or for Social Security, it can be as young as 62, every day. And then the fourth takeaway was nations with a large senior population depend on a smaller group of people to pay for higher health costs, pension benefits, and other publicly funded programs. And yeah, you see that in the United States, and you're really seeing that right now in countries like Japan. So that's the reality of what we're looking at right now, and it's not going to go away. People are getting older every day. We're getting older every day. So, the first step is to, acknowledge the situation that we're, looking at and be set with. And this is the situation. So what we can do, well, I think this really kind of begs the question here, hearing all of these key indicators and key points and takeaways that I've been talking about, that we need to really rely on ourselves. We need to plan accordingly. We need to have a budget. We need to just be careful with the decisions we make. Because at the end of the day, it's basically, on us. We're responsible for ourselves. And we can't rely on a government. We can't rely on, a group. Not really. We really have to focus on ourselves. Some folks can rely on some family members. Many others cannot. And that's just the reality of life in the U.S. And so we need to, plan accordingly, and we need to start doing that now, right now. You don't want to wait for tomorrow. You don't want to wait for a better time, because frankly, there is no better time. So that's really all this video today is intended to be. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. But it's just basically, we're all getting older. The world's getting older. And we see signs of this every direction we turn in. And we see programs that are being tested to their limits to support elderly folks. And they're just bursting at the seams right now. And one of the things we need to start doing immediately is planning our own destiny, planning our own remainder of our life. So please like the video. If you have some suggestions on your end of what should we do immediately to prepare, please comment. Let me know. I'd love to get your input. So I'll see you on the next video. Take care.